All right, welcome back to Make It Rain. This is Frank. We're getting ready to do the closet hang. Again, this is just a continuation of the videos I had put together for the Allen Roth system. I have, like I said, I've got a few of these I've got to install, as you can see through here behind me. So we'll be trying to hang the first one tonight, or this morning, today, this afternoon, whichever. To try to get those in. It's a little involved process. The cabinets or counters, the ones, let me rephrase that. The actual tower units that are on my left over here, this side over here, are wood studs. Anything on the other side over here, these are the concrete walls. So, of course, I'm going to do the easy ones first. So I'm going to hang those there. That's what most people will be doing before I get in that one. That'll probably be a whole separate video because I'm going to have to test those. Figure out how I'm going to have to get those hung to be able to support the weight. These things are pretty meaty. So let me get all set up and we'll get right to it. All right, so as you can see, I do have my line marked on the wall. I got my stud there, roughly the center line between each one. Then what you do is you have to pull the template. So you unfold this nice handy dandy template out there. You poke holes right through these corner pieces. And what I end up doing is I actually peel a little bit of the paper away so I can see the dashed lines, because that's going to mark my vertical and horizontal. Then what we're going to do is go up here, and because I know roughly where the center lines are, is you take your template, you're going to get up here near this center line on the vertical and horizontal, put it on the other one, and then because I didn't know exactly where that center is, kind of do a little bit of shifting to try to make it about where I think it's perfect. But the important part is I have enough of that circle cut out, the hole cut out, that I can really line up this horizontal line so I know it's I know it's going to be perfectly level. And then what you have to do is you go in here and you peel off the backing of this thing. In theory, this thing's going to come off, because there is a sticky tape on the back. So there we go. I got it started. And you're going to peel that off. Whoop. Make sure you're staying on on the horizontal line. And then you're going to essentially press it back onto the wall. Boom. Now I got my template on the wall. There is, same thing on the bottom. I don't really use that one that much. I try to kind of flatten out my creases so it hangs the way I want it to hang. And then what you're going to end up doing, I'm going to pull this up real quick, because as you can see, now you have your template up. You're going to end up drilling holes in this mounting point here. All I do is I kind of pull this down, and you're going to drill your pilot holes or your pre-drilled holes into there and up there into the studs. And what I think they require you to use is a 3/16 inch bit. And so I'm going to go ahead and get that ready. We're going to test it, put some holes in the walls, and hope to God they're in the right place, because I hate to screw up my brand new walls. Right? Alright, so I'm back here, getting ready to do the next part. I do get the drill bit on there. This is a 3/16 is what they're asking for. So you put the 3/16 on there. What you're going to end up doing is we want to install these. Remember, these have the angled edges. You want, when you're setting these on the wall, you want the angled edge, I don't know if you can see behind there, you want it set like that so that the unit won't grip onto that and hang onto it. So that's what we're doing. You can see on the board they are countersunk there. And what you'll end up installing is you have this lag bolt here. So I don't know if you can see this lag bolt. The lag bolt and then the washer that's underneath it, on top of it. So that washer, that lag bolt will go get drilled into the board on the counter using the countersunk side. It'll go in there so it sits nice and flush. So I always make sure I put it together. I look to see how much I need to drill in. So I need to know I got about the width of my smallest finger would be between the end of the drill bit. So I make sure I just drill that far. It gets me in all the way. So I'll go in, we'll do the top two, and then I'll come in and do the bottom two. Hopefully you can see, but we'll go in and get these top two done. So I hope I'm hitting studs. There, so that's in far enough. Should be in far enough. And then what I do is I just pull on this paper and get it a little bit taut, not pulling it off the wall. And then I'll put it right on that edge. Should put me right into that stud. It felt like it did. Same thing over here. It should put me right into it. Of course, this is where I get to be trying to get to be a little bit more of a perfectionist to get it right on that center. Probably don't need to be. There we go. I feel it gripping the stud, so that's a very good sign. There we go. So that's it. So those are in. I gotta go put my other bit on, but now you can actually pull this off the wall. I'm gonna save it because I need to use it for another one. So I'm gonna set this out here and keep it for the next build. So let's go ahead and let me change my drill bit and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. It undoubtedly and without fail, when I go to look for the tool I need, my son has taken it and did put it back, and I don't know where it's at right now. So I am going to try with this other socket and see if I can get it to work. But the way I like to install these things is I get this little adapter for my drill, because what you are putting is lag bolts, and as you can see there, the hex is right there. So it's got the shape you typically we use a socket wrench for. So unfortunately the socket that I needed is gone. So I'm going to try a 12mm and see if I can get it to work. I hate these kind of sockets that have these almost like a serration to it. I like the ones that actually have the exact design as the head that I'm trying to put in. And it's because they end up sometimes clipping off the corners of the lag bolt. But I'm going to try not to do that, and we'll see if we can get this one to work. So without further delay, let's try to install the first one. So I've got it. Get the bolt, we'll put it in there. Remember to have the lag, and you got to make sure you have that washer on there. And let's see if we can start slowly inserting that in there. So I don't want to strip that bolt. I feel like it's going to strip it. Don't strip it. There it is. It started to strip it. Darn it. It's not what I want to have done. Let me get the other one. I'm going to have to go home and get my other toolkit because my son has removed it. So again, remember that when you install this, that you have the beveled edge so you can hang on it. So that's probably the big thing here. There we go. That's as far as I'm gonna be able to get it. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to take a break, go all the way back to the house to get the lag bolt, the socket that I need, because kids can't do anything with them, but you love them to death. All right, talk to you later. Bye. All right, so it's a little later in the day. It is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I went down to go see my pops and see my father-in-law. So I'm back putting in the closet, and I have my wife pick up and bring my other toolkit. So I do have the right bit on there. I'm actually using a, I don't know if you can see the inside of that, but I like the ones that fit better like that. They seem to grip a lot better than the ones that have all the serrated edges on them. So I'm putting this in there. This is a number 12 bolt or socket. So you just go ahead and install these in there. So there you go. You can see how solid, rock solid that fits in there. Let's do the top ones now. My batteries are dying. Oh no, it's not. The drill. That's in. That's in. So that sucker's flush against the wall. So that's essentially all you'll need to do at this point is hang it. Just move these shelves out of the way. And then I'm going to take all this stuff off of here real fast. Because actually the next part you're going to end up doing with this thing is putting it on there. So this is much easier if you have two people. Unfortunately, I only have myself. So easiest way to do this will be to line it up. And then I'm going to have to lift her up there. So let's see if we can get her up there on the shelf. Fudge. Didn't quite get there. Come on. That's in right. Guess that is hanging on there. So I'll just push as far over as I can. So that's it. She's hung up on the post. You can kind of see what she looks like. She's hung in there pretty tight. Clean it all up. Got a little room here. I'll put a small little, I'm just gonna run like one small rack over here. Probably up high so she can hang her long stuff on that side. Most of the clothes racks will be on this side. So that'll just be for the long racks. Here will be her desk. So she'll put her desk there, and then we'll go. So now we got the rack is up. It looks good. Trying to move my trash. Ah, look. So I found the Allen wrench that you can use for some of these. You know, I used to, when I was younger, say, oh man, I got these Allen wrenches. They came with this. Now I don't have to go buy them. I'm gonna keep my own. And I got like a boatload of these in a drawer, and I never use them. And I went out and bought a set of Allen wrenches. So I knew exactly what size they were. So you can keep them. I end up just trashing them because I don't know what size they are all the time. So now we're moving on to the next phase of this, which will be to install the shelves. So you want to make sure You put these shelving units in. Let me put my tools back. All right, the next phase is putting in the shelves. So it's good here. These are real simple. They give you these, essentially these shelf pegs. So you get these shelf pegs. You can see them in there. All you do is slap them in here. So I always like to count up, make sure so I'm counting the right amount. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's 19 holes in there. So let's just go up 10, 2, 3, 4, 10. There's 10. Do 10 on the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm measuring up each one of these holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put that one in, and then the last one will be the same way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. And then you just take the shelf. The shelves have little indentions right there. Always go in at a little angle so I don't hit the wood. There you go. That's what the shelf looks like. Then the last thing we do the same thing on the bottom. Difference on the bottom rack is that this side here will have a shoe rack on it. So when you look down, let me turn this around a little bit. So when you're looking down here at this shelf, you got this shoe rack, right? So you want to actually sit in a little bit slanted. Inside of here, there are actually some holes that are a little offset. So I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. But you can see there's 2 holes right there. Those are what you're going to use to set in the shoe rack. So I'm going to start and put it on this middle one here. Put it into the one that sits a little back, and then you go across to the other side, you put it on the one just above it. So if I go across, I believe that's what you do. Let's find out. And then when you set the shoe thing in here, it should sit right on there, and now it's a little bit in an angle. You could actually do it even higher in angle. Let's try that. Let's set it on the one above and see if let's go 2 above and see if I can get a little bit more of a angle on there. There you go. So if you do it 2 above, it has a little bit more of a slant to it. And that's how it looks. All right. All right, we're back with the Allen Roth Closet system. So I'm going to do the shelves a different day, but I just wanted to show you what's left in the packet here. So there are some screws and stuff left in the packet that you'll have. These will be hanging the shelf whenever you drill into the side of the unit. You'll want to use these smaller type ones. These will be used to pair with the wall anchors to go into the wall on the side. Most of the time I'm able to get it into a stud, so I usually don't have to use the wall anchor pieces. And then they actually do give you a corrective marker here, so if you end up getting scratches, you're able to use that little marker to cover it all in. That's really all you'll have left. I usually will take this, stick it in the drawer, and then that'll be used another day. So with that, thank you for being with us through the hanging and the install. You can see the videos. Again, I really like this Allen Roth system. It is pretty solid. Again, like I said before, you have to be on a stud to do it. And as you can see, you can only slide this thing over a little bit. So if I push it as far over as I can, that's it. If I move it the other direction and slide it on the thing, it doesn't get much wiggle room in it. So now it's pretty well settled into its spot. That's all the room I'll have for clothes on this side. Again, the other side, you can adjust it. I do have it, I think I have it sitting about 2 to 3 inches taller than I really wanted it to be. Hindsight 2020, I should have brought it down a little bit more. My wife is tiny. She's not going to be able to reach the top. Well, she'll be able to reach in there, but it's still going to sit a little bit higher than I expected it to be. The install, as you saw, it does take a little while to do it, but I think the quality of the wood it makes it worth it. When you go to some of the other units like IKEA and stuff that are using more of a particle type board, not quite as strong. I will do pros and cons of each one of these systems. I did do my initial thoughts, but I think I'm going to do a detailed pros and cons of each one of these systems and put it up. All right, with that, you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers.